So, all right, let me introduce myself and then I'll kick it off to my co-pilot so she can introduce herself. My name is Eric Green, and I am a career consultant at the University Career Center. Let me say I'm a proud career consultant at the University Career Center, especially when we're delivering material like this because I know it's very impactful for the students. I've been in the game for about 2.5 years, and I'm super excited to deliver this content just to give you some general overview about resume. So I'll pass it off to my co-pilot so she can introduce herself.
Hello, thank you all so much for being with us this morning. My name is Bethany Ahoy. I'm one of the 4 career consultants over at the University Career Center. So I work with ATEC and A&H students along with all of the other amazing students we have at UTD. So thank you for having us this morning.
Oh yeah, see, you just got a nice presenter voice. I really love
Hey,
it.
thank you, Eric. I will take any compliments on this Sunday morning I can get.
Okay, just a small disclaimer. I do have a little one with me, so if you hear baby bump, please excuse that because I'm a dad working from home and watching my little. So I just want to
Yes.
make that small disclaimer. If you hear, 1, 2, 3, 4, you already know who's at the door. All right, let's kick
Oh,
it off.
all right.
All right, so the topics that we're going to cover, we're just going to give you just a basic overview of resume basics, formatting, templates, things to avoid. This is the most crucial thing that I know for me, I see that students really need help with is creating those accomplishment statements in the STAR method. But I got a variation to that to make it simplified, which I'll talk about later in the PowerPoint, and then supplemental documents that we kind of don't think about. Because I know sometimes whenever I meet with students, they're like, should I add a cover letter? Should I put my references at the bottom? So we'll talk about that and what you should do during that time. Do you have anything else, Ms. Bethany?
No, as always, Eric, you hit it out the park. So, yeah, all great stuff we're going to head into.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
All
All
right.
right. So I guess I can kick it off. What is a resume? I know theoretically we can come up with just wonderful answers about what is a resume, but I do want to tell you a resume is one of those most important documents that you could ever have as a professional. So just like you prepare for the test, just like you prepare for the interview, just like you prepare to deliver your baby boy, it is important. It is important because now employers are going to be able to see who you are off of this sheet of paper. So I say it's important to invest. It's a brief summary of your knowledge. It's a brief summary of your skills, abilities that you pertain to the specific job listing. It's a marketing document. It's subjective, so it's up to you. I kind of compare it to, take this, Bethany, I was thinking about, I kind of compare it to an investment property. It's like
Yeah.
when you buy an investment property, it might be dilapidated, it might be broke down, but it's yours. You own it. So what you do, you try to go in the inside, you try to update the fixtures, you update the floor, you put in windows, you do all of these wonderful things so you can get somebody to do what?
Buy
Buy
it, rent
it,
it.
rent
Yes.
it.
It's some
So
interest.
it's the same thing. Your
Yeah,
resume is your investment property. So you got
I
to do
love
the
that.
same thing when you are in your when it comes to this document and invest in it, clean it up, make it presentable so somebody can invest in you. What you got? Is that cool?
Man, that was some good stuff. No pressure, guys. It's only the first thing they see whenever you're applying. So the
Yeah.
last thing we want to do is scare you, but Eric is so amazing, so I love co-piloting with him. It's a motivator. That's what today is for. So a motivation of, hey, like these are all the cool things. There's so many tools you have at your disposal to help you. You're not in this in the dark by yourself. We've been doing this for a little bit. So again, I think as we get into this, you'll see it's not as daunting as a lot of people think it is. So I'm ready to jump
Amen.
in.
Amen to
Yeah.
that. I'll let you go ahead, Bethany. You can kick it off.
Yeah, perfect. So a lot of you, you submit your documentation, you don't think about it again, right? You just like put it out there for whatever. But you really need to think beyond, like what happens, what are they seeing once you submit it, right? So hiring managers spend 30 seconds to 2 minutes reviewing a resume, and sometimes it's even less, right? So think about you have a position and hundreds of people or thousands have applied. They don't have time, so they want a spot check, run through, doesn't look good, formatting's off, whatever, like done, like just the basic appearance. They might not even read words if it doesn't look good. So it should be very targeted and customized for each position. Spoon feed that reviewer, that HR person, spoon feed them why you're a good fit. And I think we'll go into that a little bit more in a minute. 1 to 2 pages max in length. So really, if you're applying for entry-level positions and we have very little to no professional experience, it's going to be 1 page, right? They don't have time to read all these things that are not applicable to the position you're applying for. So it's a cool problem to have. We have a lot of students with tons of student orgs they're involved in, tons of outside activities, and that's amazing. But that's not worth spending 2 pages going on about that if it's not directly related to the position you're going into. Let's see, in attempts to stand out using fancy fonts or color templates will likely backfire. So as we mentioned before, some of these big companies that are having hundreds or even thousands of applicants are using what we call, or what everyone calls, applicant tracking software. So it's literally a program that is pre-reading these resumes, right? And it's reading for specific phrases and words on the job description, rating them on a percentage of how much it matches that, and then kicks them off. So if you have all these fancy fonts and color templates, it can't read those, so it's going to give you a big 0%, even if you had amazing experience. So there's a reason that we make it so simple and so clear. There's a time and a place for some fancier ones in my more creative careers, and you're matching the culture to the resume of the place you want to work for. So there's very small times where that can be appropriate. But again, come see us. But 99.9% of the time, basic business format is kind of the way to go. Anything you want to add to that, Eric?
Oh no, I'm gonna just take one of your phrases that you said and spoon feed the next thing.
Yes.
I like
yes.
Getting started. So whenever you getting started, like we said, don't be afraid. It's not bad, but it depends on your preparation process too. Because I don't want you to be in a desperation state where I got to figure out all of this, and where you can be marking down every experience that you had, every interaction that you had. We're making an ideal document where you can take that information and then tailor it to the job. So getting started, make a master list. We got some resources. I know the focus too at the bottom. If you come to the Career Center and ask about the focus tool, we'll give you information about it. But at the bottom, they actually have a place where you can start. It'll formulate it for you. All you have to do is just throw in the information. Or if you want to go old fashioned, get a blank sheet of paper, and then on the next slide, you talk about all of those things that you can think about whenever you are documenting your information. Like I said, it's a cheat sheet. It's a living document. So just make sure that you do the work. Prepare so you can create that fine-tuned resume that you'll feel confident to deliver to professionals or companies or organizations. You have anything to add to spoon feed?
I don't know. That was amazing as always. So Shireen asked, sometimes my resume is long and super wordy. How do I cut it down efficiently? Great question. So that's a cool problem a lot of our UTD students have. And it really comes down to think from the hiring manager's viewpoint. What are they going to care about? Yes, it's great that you volunteered at 18 different places. It's great that you've had all these different jobs. But for them, they need to see what's applicable. What have you done that will be cool to them? So think of it from that perspective, and then definitely come see us virtually, of course, at the Career Center, and we can kind of help give you that objective point of view of, hey, like, yes, these are great experiences, but the hiring manager, the HR people, like, these is what they're really going to care about. So again, great problem to have, Shireen, but again, what's most applicable to the job is what we want to focus on.
I love that. And just to tack on to that, you know that the job description is your cheat sheet. So now you can look at the job description and see, okay, exactly what are they saying? What do they want? What kind of skills they're looking for? What type of experience they're looking for? And then that's when you go to your document and say, okay, maybe this don't work. Maybe that don't work. Maybe this don't work. Maybe this, I need to plug this in. Maybe this is something that I haven't thought about, which we can help you process So that
Mhm.
just keep in mind that the job description is it's the test before you take the test. I mean, it's the answer to the test.
Exactly.
So keep
Oh,
that
that's
in mind.
perfect. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Hmm.
All right, so like I said, whenever you are formulating this document, these are some of the things that you want to think about. You want to think about your header. You want to think about your professional profile statement, your experience, your awards, your certifications, your education, your volunteer, your academic experience. It's a few things that's not on here that you might want to think about, especially for software or engineering students or ATech students, your personal projects. That's another thing. Your
Mhm.
personal projects.
Huge.
Is there anything else? I think it was like a few other things that wasn't added to this list. It was your personal projects.
Personal projects is what I was thinking of
Mhm.
for sure. We have volunteer and academic
Volunteers.
experience listed,
Oh,
education, interpretation
I got it.
awards.
I got it. It's your research experience.
Awesome.
Research experience.
Ah,
So I know that
yes,
wasn't on the
yes.
list. So your personal project. So now I'm encouraging
Mhm.
you to, if you don't have the experience, gaining that experience. So if I learn something in Java, if I learn something in
Mhm.
MATLAB, how can I do that on my personal time to help develop that? Because I seen a resume where this guy, he didn't even have no academic experience, but he had all personal projects and was getting interviews lined up, because that's what people are looking
Mhm.
for. They ain't looking for
Yep.
robots. They're looking for somebody that can be creative, that can be innovative, that'll take initiative. So that's just a plug
Yep.
right there.
Personal projects are
Mhm,
huge no matter what industry you're wanting to go into. It shows that drive,
mhm,
that dedication to the specific industry. If you're willing to do that outside of what we already know is a rigorous course schedule and homework and all that, and you're willing to go outside of that and do extra, that employer is like, wow,
mhm.
like this person is driven. Let's give them an interview. So I think Eric spoke earlier about someone that we've seen it time and time
Yeah.
again. They don't have work
Mhm,
experience, so they have tons of personal projects.
mhm.
So students get super worried about not having positions that they were paid for to do things, and there's so many ways to make up for that. So
Amen. Amen.
enough about
I
that.
love that.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the crucial thing that I kind of referenced at the top, where we are
Mhm.
developing our bullet points. So we can identify some things that we need to include in our resume. But now, how do we create that wording? How do we create that language that can speak to the organizations, that can speak to the recruiters? So this is one
Mhm.
formula that you can frame your bullet points in. So underneath the work experience, underneath the research, underneath the personal projects, underneath the volunteer experience, this is a way that you can frame your bullet points, the STAR method. And also, just to throw a plug for another career session, is interviews. This is another way that you can frame your answering your questions for behavioral. But we ain't gonna get into
Mhm.
that. That's a whole nother thing. I'll park it. But I'll bring it back to the bullet points. So situation, task, action, and results. So we'll go
Mhm.
through it through the next few slides. All right. Situation. I'll take situation, task, and then Beth and you could take action and result. So with the
Awesome.
situation, this is an example. Serve as project manager, completed project on time with scope and
Mhm.
on budget. So that's the situation. Project manager.
Mhm.
You see that that's highlighted. So with the situation, and then when you're thinking about the bullet points, you have to think about what was the action? What was the action verb? What did I do? Was I a project manager? Was I a developer? Did I develop this? Did I create this? Did I implement this? So thinking in terms of action verbs. Now tasks. We do,
Mhm.
and this is just we just kind of building off. So this is not actually your bullet points. It's just more of a way to start developing and structuring it. Let me just make that disclaimer. So tasks,
Mhm.
conduct a cost analysis, coordinated 6 work teams, and identify project timelines, supervise 30 contractors, ensuring they stayed on schedule. That's self-explanatory. Now you are talking about the task
Mhm.
when you're thinking about your experience underneath that job that you might have had. So what was the task that you did?
Mhm.
All right.
All right, so now we're going to jump into the action. So this builds off of the last point like Eric was discussing. So divided 30 contractors into 6 work teams, delegate assignments based on specialty, planned project phases, and established timelines. And then the result. So as a result, successfully manage the execution of all phases, completing the job on time and reduce costs by 15%. So you can see how this bullet point has really grown. So the biggest thing that we want you to do is give yourself credit for everything that you've done. So a lot of times we have these bullet points and on the surface, they don't look that impressive, but upon further discussion with the students, you did a lot, you managed a lot. And so it's about pulling those pieces out. So when we start putting percentages and numbers, as you have them, not everybody has them, and that's okay. But it really speaks to, wow, you really did a lot and you're really able to manage a lot. So again, yeah, as we move on, we'll kind of see how it's all put together.
I love that.
But yeah, that's the biggest thing with there. So yeah, making sure you give yourself credit.
And just to add to yours, just to simplify, because sometimes I think it's situation, task, action, and results. Let's just simplify, because I mentioned this. Just think in terms of action, and then what was the result? If you just want to simplify, what did you do? Like I said, implement it, create it, develop. What did you do in that space? And then because of that, what was the results? Did you reduce? Did you increase? Did you solve? What did you do? And then if you can find some matrix in there, did you impact 30 people? Did you did you create a whole document that you taught over 1,000 people? So what? I mean, that's like Barack Obama. I like that. But I mean, just talking about it, I'm like, man, I'm getting excited about it, because you can really tell the recruiter what you've done. Don't hide it. And I think if you think about action, results, and put some matrix on there, man, you golden. So here is the final makeup. Coordinated and supervised. What I say about those action verbs. Coordinated and supervised. 6 work teams. So now they put matrix 6, consisting of 30 contractors. Now you giving them a whole picture of what you had the project manage. Successfully completed the project within the established timeline while reducing project costs by 15%. And now when they see that, they're like, oh, he's saving us money, so we can use it for other things. All right, let's bring him on in for an interview and see how he can defend that. So this is just an example of how you can create those bullet points. And again, we are here to help. That's why we're here for. If you reach out to us, we'll help you figure out how you can make your bullet points in STAR method. And if you want to simplify, action and results with matrix and all that beautiful other language in there.
Yes, perfect. Supplemental documentation.
Yes. You got it?
All right. I got it. All right. So reference should include, so we're talking about your references on this section. So do not include your references on your resume. 9.9% of the time, everyone's applying online. There's going to be a section in the application for list out your resumes or submit a document with your resumes on it. The name of the person, the position and company is what they're usually going to ask for, email and phone number. Again, 9 times out of 10, you're filling in blanks, so it's telling you what to put in there. But the biggest thing we see is people tack that onto their resume. Don't use that space for that. There's places to put that in, like I said, when you're applying for the position. And no available on request. We see that a lot. That was kind of an old school thing we used to do, but you don't do it anymore. Again, the employer knows if they're asking for them, requiring them, you're going to give them. And then make sure you let them know they may be contacted. So that's for your references. So it may be someone you've been friends with forever or worked with forever or whatever. You're like, oh no, it's fine. It's not fine. It's not. You need to be have some courtesy and let your reference know, like, hey, this person might be calling you, so they're not caught off guard answering the phone at the grocery store and saying, Bethany, who? What? Oh, people have other lives besides being our references, right? So you want to make sure that they're in that frame of mind of, okay, that I need to have my reference voice on and know what I'm going to say about you. So never let your references get caught off guard. That's a good way to lose them as a reference, but also a way to not maybe get your best reference when your employer calls. So big points on that for sure.
And another supplemental document that sometimes students ask me, hey, should I include the cover letter? What if it's not required? I say do it anyway, because this allows you
Yes.
time
Yes.
to kind of process some of those key skills that you have done that is attractive to the employers. And then not only that, it's another document that will advocate for you that you can
Mhm.
have to explain away why you are valuable and why you are important. So I always say when they ask
Mhm.
me, should I do a cover letter? Yes, do a cover letter. Do a cover letter because it's
Yes.
covering you.
Yes.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
love that. Oh,
yeah.
Erica, write that down.
Hey, that came from nowhere. I was like, wow, okay, it's covering you. So should
Yep.
not be a summary of your resume. Of course, you should identify those key skills. Like again, looking at your cheat sheet, the job description, and
Mhm.
seeing okay, what key skills I can expound on, and then not repeating what's on the resume, but also expounding on it, explaining it in
Mhm.
detail. So, okay, you coordinated a project management and you reduced it by 15%. What else did you do? How did you do that? When did you do that? What
Mhm.
I mean, who did you talk to? Did you communicate with these people? Did you use soft skills to implement this? This is a way there where
Mhm.
you can explain it away. So and
Mhm.
then it also is a way that you can explain gaps. So if you have a gap in your professional experience or your work experience, that's where you can kind of explain it. Hey, I took a break to take care of my family. I took a break to I had something going on in my life at that time that I really had to prioritize and focus on. So this is a way where you can explain that gap in between.
Mhm.
And it's not always required, but it can be offered to give you an edge, like I said. So you had anything else to add on there?
No, I think you definitely nailed it. It's your voice. So it's a way to put a little bit of your personality into it that you can't really do in a resume. So yeah, I'm totally there. If it's optional, do it.
Yes,
And make
yes.
it a good one. Don't just do it to check it off your list. Work on it.
Right, right. So I think because I think this is the second to the last. So definitely I'll take the top four. You can finish off with the three, and then we'll just
Perfect.
close it out.
Yeah.
All right. So common mistakes to avoid: overuse of bold, italics, and underlines and caps because that can be very distracting. You have to be strategic with it. You have to be mindful of it because I've seen where it's bullet points all the way down on the side. I was like, that's the first thing I noticed. Maybe you don't want to put bullet points in your education section or your professional summary. Maybe I just put bullet points underneath where I have those star statements or those action and result statements, and then just use it strategically. Maybe I just need to bold this point or this key skill or this keyword just so I can
Mhm.
reflect that with whoever's reviewing it. So being very strategic and not overdoing it. Using personal pronouns in resumes. Don't say I.
Mm-mm.
Don't say we.
Mm-mm.
Don't say
Mm-mm.
she. Don't say he. Or don't say they. Say implemented. Say created. Say those action verbs. Say
As
those
part of a team. Yeah.
yes. So avoid those personal pronouns, listing position descriptions, not accomplishments. Yes. So that's a common mistake. People are explaining what they do. Oh, I help the customer. That's it. Tell me what you did. You help how did you help the customer? How
Mhm.
did you use creative methods to communicate and tell them specifically about maybe some of the things that's coming down the pipeline with savings, and they ended up. I don't know. You can work that out. So don't
Mhm.
just say help the customer. Expound on that in that STAR method, and then not customize your resume to the position description. Every people I know sometimes when students come in, they be like, I've applied to 100 companies. I said, did you use the same resume? Oh yeah, I ain't heard nothing back. That's why. You ain't tailoring
Mhm.
your resume. You got to
Yeah.
really spend time on every resume and see, am I articulating myself? And some of those apps that are good is JobScan and WordCloud. JobScan, it shows you the percentage of match. WordCloud, you can put it in this doc, it'll populate the words that's used often, and you can take those words and start integrating into your resume. So it's ways
Mhm.
to do it. And if you come to us, we will help you out. Our best in
Yes.
need.
All right, I'm going to speed through these last three. So leaving out employment history you don't think is relevant, there's transferable skills in almost any job. So students that come to us say, I have no experience. And they say, I worked at this place and this place. Yeah, you do. You have good experience. Let's build it out. So come to us. Again, we can help you work through how to pull out those transferable skills. Employers love just to see that you've worked and you know how to show up and you understand answering to a boss and those type of things. So creative resumes, we already kind of hit on that. Very few times is it appropriate. So 9 times out of 10, you're sticking to your basic business resume, giving them the basics. Acronyms, don't ever use them. People assume they know what you're talking about. They 9 times out of 10 don't. And the applicant tracking software doesn't know what they mean either. So spell it out and make it easy for people.
All right, so we
All
on our
right,
last
trucking on.
minute. Thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Eric
Hey.
Green, and I'm a career consultant at the University Career Center, a proud career consultant at the University.
Woohoo.
Come and holler at us. You can set an appointment and handshake. Definitely come in and see us. We even got I can't think of the career center at UTD where you can send your resume in, and I think with resume editor.
Resume editor at utdallas.edu.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I was like,
It's Sunday morning.
So yeah,
thank you all for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's been fun. Hope to see y'all soon. Bye.